Strength does not arrive as a sudden awakening. It accumulates quietly through repeated exposure to responsibility handled correctly. Most people imagine strength as confidence, charisma, or boldness. But in reality, strength is reliability. It is the ability to do what needs to be done consistently without emotional drama. It is the capacity to remain steady when conditions fluctuate. It is the discipline to follow through when motivation fades. Financial strength is not flashy, it is stable. To reverse weakness, the nervous system must be retrained to tolerate structure, uncertainty, delayed reward, and consequence without collapsing into avoidance or impulsivity. This retraining cannot happen through intellectual understanding alone. It requires behavioral conditioning. You slowly expand your tolerance window. You take on slightly more responsibility than feels comfortable. You practice restraint in small decisions. You track outcomes honestly. You stabilize routines. Over time, the nervous system learns that stability is safe, not threatening. Internal authority is the foundation of sovereignty. Internal authority means you can govern your impulses, your emotions, your attention, and decisions without external coercion. You do not need constant validation, supervision, or pressure to stay aligned. You regulate yourself. Most people have never developed internal authority because they were raised in environments where authority was externalized. Inconsistent or emotionally chaotic, they learn compliance or rebellion rather than self-governance. Financial sovereignty requires self-governance. Building internal authority starts with small promises you keep to yourself. You say to yourself you will save a certain amount of money, so you just go ahead and you do it. You say you will track expenses and you do it. You say you will study a particular skill or perfect it and you do it. These small acts rebuild trust between your conscious intention and your nervous system. Over time, self-trust replaces anxiety. Confidence becomes grounded rather than performative. Dependency patterns must be dismantled gradually, not violently. Cutting external support prematurely can destabilize the nervous system and create backlash. Instead, you slowly reduce reliance on external regulation while increasing internal capacity. You learn to sit with discomfort without escaping immediately. You learn to solve problems directly rather than outsourcing responsibility. You learn to tolerate boredom without stimulation. You learn to delay gratification intentionally. These practices build nervous system resilience. Delayed gratification is not deprivation, it is strategic patience. It teaches the nervous system that future reward is real and trustworthy. This restraint impulsive secretary. You become less reactive, more deliberate, more stable. Wealth requires this capacity because compounding systems reward those who can wait intelligently. Comfort addiction must also be addressed. Comfort is not wrong, but when comfort becomes the primary organizing principle of life, growth stagnates. You must deliberately expose yourself to productive discomfort, learning hard skills, having difficult conversations, making long-term plans, saying no to short-term pleasure in service of long-term stability. This builds tolerance for friction, which is essential for leadership and wealth stewardship. Ownership must become a lived practice. Track what you own, maintain what you build, review what works and what fails, adjust systems, protect assets, take responsibility for errors without collapsing into shame, without dissolving yourself into incompetence. Ownership trains seriousness and competence. It eliminates victim mentality. Attention must be reclaimed from fragmentation. Reduce unnecessary stimulation. That is number one. Create periods of deep focus. Protect cognitive bandwidth. Build routines that support clarity rather than distraction. Wealth requires sustained thinking capacity. Scattered attention produces scattered results. Narratives must be rewritten consciously. Identify inherited beliefs about money, success, power, morality, and identity. Examine whether they serve your future or imprison your past. Replace them with functional narratives grounded in reality rather than fear or fantasy. This process requires honesty and patience. Long-term memory must be cultivated. Begin thinking in multi-year horizons. Evaluate decisions based on long-term impact rather than short-term comfort. Track progress over months and years rather than days. This stabilizes patience and discourages impulsive abandonment of good strategies. Exposure to competence must be intentional. Study builders, not performers. Observe how disciplined people structure their time, money, decisions, and boundaries. Model functional behavior rather than aspirational image. Loyalty conflicts must be addressed carefully. Growth sometimes creates distance from familiar environments. This does not require arrogance or abandonment, but it does require emotional dependency. You must be willing to evolve beyond inherited limitations without guilt-driven self-sabotage. Agency must replace waiting. You take responsibility for learning, experimentation, correction, and adaptation. You stop waiting for perfect conditions. You build capacity under imperfect circumstances. Strength emerges when these practices accumulate quietly over time. There is no dramatic breakthrough. There is no sudden enlightenment. There is steady competence expansion. Financial strength is not domination. It is stewardship. It is the ability to handle resources wisely, ethically, and sustainably. It is the capacity to stabilize systems rather than exploit chaos. It is the maturity to hold power without corruption. This is the reversal of weakness. This is the path of boons of being.